You have to admire Meghan Markle, whichever way you look at it. She creates chaos and, well, real problems for people around the world. This all stems recently, of course, from her latest, well, move back into the world via social media. That's right, a much anticipated, by a few at least, archetypes, whatever, podcast. But this time around, seemingly, she's now managed to dump on His Royal Highness Prince William. Let me explain. Good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. As ever, nice to have your company. Hope you keep well. You've still got the sniffles. Yes, don't worry. It's just hay fever. You don't cough, dare you, in this climate anymore, or sneeze. Everybody, is it like that in your part of the world? Everybody looks round at you on the bus. Ooh, you know, what's up with him? You know, hay fever's terrible, isn't it, when you think about it? But of course we all suffer. Some of us suffer in silence, not me though, I tell you every day, moaning away to you. Back as ever though to your breaking ball story of the day. This story really, when you think about it, it's so really bad because, as we've said many times before, the British monarchy do their very best to uphold everything that we all love dear about them. You know, they're basically trying to be great ambassadors around the world for our wonderful country and the Commonwealth. And let's face it, no one's done a better job in 70 years than our gracious monarch, Her Majesty the Queen. A lot of people always say, you know, she's never really put a foot wrong. Maybe once or twice, and I think she'd admit that herself, but that's not bad in such a long reign, and historical reign, as it turns out to be this year. But what's interesting, I find, is that it can just take one person to unravel it, and there's somebody really who's doing their very best to make sure that things are difficult for the British monarchy. And let me explain the reasons why. As we saw recently, Meghan Markle decided to impart to the world her latest Archetypes podcast, in fact her second one in that £80 million deal. And there's much trumpeting about the fact that, of course, she's managed to get to #1. Well, let's face it, you know, with that profile, if you can't get to #1 on your very first, then you do have a problem. Sustaining that is going to be a very big problem because people get bored very quickly. And as we saw with that particular podcast, it was kind of all about her struggles, her problems, the poor me situations. Once or twice Serena Williams managed to get her woes in. You know, I don't know about you, but I often enjoy listening to multimillionaires telling you how bad their life is, while the rest of us are thinking, can I afford that electric bill? How much is my rent going up? You know, the usual stuff that really affect the real people. Not suggesting she should be commenting on that. After all, that's not her world. Simply she doesn't live in that world. But what she does live in is a part world of monarchy. And basically, because she manages to hold on to the title of the Duchess of Sussex, it does impact big time, and this is the reasons why. You will recall that she mentioned some fanciful story about a fire which sounded like something from the 1974 movie Towering Inferno. Turns out it was some kind of a smoking thing. She then produced the nanny. The nanny's not said anything, so, you know, whichever way you look at it, once again creating havoc and discourse, all in the while trying to sell your latest product. But the biggest problem now is that she referred to that particular venue where she stayed, a colossal place when you think, a beautiful venue in Africa, as a housing unit, making it sound like some kind of, you know, hospital bed that they were putting Archie in. Now, this has created a lot of problems because, as we know, Harry's spoken about Africa being a very special place for him, as has his elder brother, Prince William, and Prince Charles took Harry and William there shortly after the sad demise of their mother, Princess Diana, to try and, you know, reacclimatise themselves, bond a little bit. So obviously for the brothers and the monarchy, the place holds a very special place, you know, it's a positive place for them. So once again, Meghan's managed to trample all over that, so much so that I am told on very good source that Prince William is writing to the High Commissioner to reaffirm the fact that it is a special place for the real British monarchy, and they were always delighted to go and visit and continue to do so in the future. This, I am told, will be a problem, and obviously, when you think about it, needn't have happened if Meghan hadn't decided to unleash this fresh bombshell that nobody truly heard of before she decided to reveal it all for money on Spotify. Now, you can see the problems ongoing for Prince William, Catherine, Prince Charles and Camilla as they try to forge ahead with a brand new monarchy. Each time, seemingly, things go their way, there's always somebody ready with a fresh hand grenade, true or not, to make sure it remains difficult. As ever, when I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.